Hi there, Andy Modeler back with a follow-up video of the line control model aircraft that I showed you I was building back in the spring of 2014. It's the All-American Senior from the DeBolt company, Torpedo. Obviously the DeBolt company is no longer in production, but I downloaded this plan from the internet and you last saw this model completed, fairly completed, but uncovered. And the plan, as you can see, says that it was designed in 1951, so I'm guessing it's a kind of classic, maybe not vintage, because that's probably going back quite a few years, but a classic model aircraft. And I did not want to cover it in one of the shiny coverings, the iron-on plastic, be it Aura cover, solar film, or one of the other monocoats. I'm guessing that the original would probably have been covered in a doped nylon. Well, I went a different route. I wanted to keep it looking fairly similar, so I covered it in an iron-on synthetic woven cloth material. This one, you can get various ones on the market, but this one being from the Solatex company. Now, I have no financial collaboration with Solatex or any of their products, but I'm just trying to let the modelers out there know that this is a wonderful covering material. If you follow the instructions, don't have the iron too hot, the covering almost goes onto the model by itself. And I'm sure, as you can see, you know, it has that doped nylon look to it. Yeah. This probably took me about, I don't know, 2, 3, something like that, evenings work to cover, and really easy. The other side, quickly, if you want to have a look. Okay. This model took probably just under a 2 meter roll in its entirety. Yeah, with a little bit of bits and pieces left over. Okay. The plan says that you should be flying this model aircraft with a Fox 29 to 35 engine. I don't own a Fox glow engine, unfortunately. I wish I did. But I've put into service what my father, when he was a young guy, used to fly line control model aircraft. If any of you can recognise, this is a Frog 500. Now, it's not been run perhaps for good 30 years, and I started it a couple of weekends ago. I had to do a bit of work to it. It's not the original spray bar and needle valve, nor is it just the original open Venturi. I had to close that down. Well, I didn't have to. I'd read that if you do that and close the diameter a little bit, then when you're flying control line on the up maneuvers, the pickup from a rattly sort of two-stroke into a semi-full-on two-stroke sound picks up a lot easier and a lot quicker. Anyway, like I said, I started it a couple of weekends ago and it ran wonderfully, so I'm really excited about this. The model is complete. It's not yet flown. That's going to happen tomorrow morning. In my last video I showed you the handle that I had designed and made up. It's had a modification since last time. In the last video it was just with eyelets here, okay, from the holes, and then the lines would run out, but I realized that I would have no adjustment on the line lengths if the lines were a little bit different length, or if the handle didn't sit correctly in my hand. So I looked onto the internet and I saw that the guys that know what they're doing, okay, I'm a real amateur, I've got to admit, when control line flying. I haven't flown for quite a number of years. This is the first year that I've been back into flying. I built myself a smaller line control plane just to get back into it, and then went on to the DeBolt aircraft you see here. Anyway, the cable, I put a heavier duty cable, made up the ends as I've discovered how you should do it, running through 2 bolts with washers. I didn't like the idea of just having one, so security I put 2, and then at the field I'm going to be able to have a small amount of adjustment if needed. The lines that I'm using are from the SIG company. I bought myself a set of 52-foot lines, and only this morning I actually made the ends up. I've never done this before, okay, never done this. all my past model aircraft have been small enough that they didn't need to fly on wire lines. They were small enough that I could get away with the thread line. So I followed the instructions that was on the back of the card and did exactly what they said. And the lines, actually, when I did a pull test, they were not that far out in line length, but like I said, I've got a bit of adjustment here. So tomorrow morning is going to be the maiden flight. I just thought I'd keep you up to date with that, and wish me luck. Well, thanks for watching.